Today's.
I don't want.
I think, I know, I'm thinking about this. For the losses.
So we have.
That's not bad. I did my car. Yeah.
It's all right. It'll be all right. I'm not, yeah, I will shut it off. I got two batteries. So yeah.
Felt like for a minute I was at Walmart. You just brought to my attention.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do it all the time.
Yeah.
Just cleaning up, I had to start the manual, yeah. Yeah, had to ask for help.
So. The ceiling fell in, big air. So we had one that was right
No,
around,
right.
right before.
The ceiling in what?
In the auditorium.
Yeah.
So a big ceiling.
Huge ceiling. So very structural.
Yeah.
It was, there, it was like, that's.
Yeah.
Was it the snow load?
My campus is, but it was like right now.
I'm okay with that.
And we had to go to school. They finally had to send us a daylight. And so we split the high school.
The two schedules.
To Michelle, but put her in something.
Coaching my son, which is really, he was on swim team.
Oh, I sent it around with the sign up.
Oh, already did?
Oh,
You live in the dream.
There is.
there is one.
I can get it for you. If you'd like me to.
Oh,
We don't need it unless. Okay, perfect.
You know what I do need, Michelle? Is that pen that went around with it.
Sorry, I gave it away.
All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Send that back.
Perfect. Thank you. Right.
These on. Yes.
That's a nice pen. Thank you.
That's fun. Sheets.
Oh, we're all set. Very.
Pass it over.
Right.
Is Margot's name on that list?
No.
So good.
Yep. You want to sign on? Do you want to say? You want to? Come right on up here.
Like 4th Street, we went to the 4th Street restaurant.
So Mark, will you write your name?
And there you don't get to choose.
Yeah, right.
They were both so good. I want.
Oh, you are. So you're waiting for Miss Maida.
Yes.
Okay, so you do not have to sign up. You are already scheduled to speak.
Okay.
Are you ready to read?
What's that? The heat, everybody's like.
Yes.
You need a timekeeper.
If you wanted to sign, I think.
Molly, Emma and I together.
Molly, I'll do that. Gary, are you ready?
I am ready.
We are live. Welcome to our December 4th school board meeting. Glad you're all here. Our meeting is also being live streamed for anyone viewing at home at www.msad11.org. So if you're unable to be here, please tune in that way. It's also on YouTube after. We'll do the introduction of board members, beginning over here with Mr. Hanley.
Jeff Hanley.
Joanne O'Brien. Brown.
Dan Coots.
Molly Rogers,
Becky Fless.
Tony Beat.
Linda Caputo, Ella Crook, Megan Carlson, Michelle Tucker,
Administrative staff.
Katie Gould, Superintendent,
Angela Hardy, Director of Curriculum.
Dave Dostey, Facilities Director.
Chris Levine, Principal at Laura E. Richards.
Andrea Dish, Business Manager,
Carrie McGuire, Director of Technology.
Sarah Sims, Principal at Gardner Regional Middle School.
Sarah Bolduc-Ignasiak, Director of Special Services.
Beth Troy, Principal at Pittston Randolph.
Vicky Duguay, Principal at Riverview Community School,
Lauren Arnold, Principal at Gardner Area High School. Sheree Poole, Principal over at Helen Thompson.
Josh Farr, Director of Adult Education.
Thank you. Let's stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Alrighty. Public comment.
All right. It's all right, Madam Chair, I'll read the public comment period script.
Yeah.
So we're about to convene into the public comment period of our meeting. State law in Maine requires a public comment item on agendas of a full meeting of the school board. Please note that the public comment period is not designed to be a discussion. Accordingly, please do not expect the board to respond to your concerns and questions tonight. I also want to point out that under state and federal privacy laws, we are unable to entertain any comments or questions about school personnel, particular student matters, any rumors presented as facts that compromise the privacy of others, and any health or medical information protected as confidential. On any matter of concern, we would ask you to go through the appropriate administrative channels. We ask that speakers please address comments to the board directly rather than to the audience. Speakers may address items pertinent to tonight's meeting agenda or any topic related to the school unit's programs, policies, or operations. In the unlikely event the meeting becomes unruly, the board will recess the meeting and return once order has been restored. Finally, I want to remind everyone that you may submit written comments to the board in lieu of speaking during the public comment period if you so choose. Regarding the protocol for this evening, please review the board pamphlet, Welcome to our School Board Meeting, that provides a copy of policy BEDH, which is public participation at board meetings, that explicitly outlines the manner in which public comment will be managed. Individuals who wish to speak are required to fill out the sign-in form. Those who wish to speak will be required to state their name and town or city of residence before beginning their remarks. Consistent with policy BEDH, the board will hear public comments from residents and employees of the school unit first. If there is time remaining in the public comment period once all residents have had the opportunity to speak, The board will permit comments from non-residents. The board will now entertain public comments for 20 minutes. Each individual speaker is allotted 2 minutes. The individual time limits will be enforced so that as many members of the public who wish to speak may be allowed to do so. I believe we have a timekeeper.
Molly,
Oh, thank you. Right, Molly, sorry.
excuse me, Linda and Ella gotta switch nameplates.
Yes, so we have the front rows empty, well, with the exception of Lancaster. We have children that are coming tonight to make a presentation to the board. So those seats are, they're special reserved seats for our students. So, and we're excited about that. That'll be coming right up. All right, public comment.
All right, so the list that we have here, Jen Scully.
Good evening. My name is Jen Scully. I'm a resident of Pittston. I have one child who currently attends MSAD11 schools and a recent graduate. Today, I'm going to read some quotes that a school board member has publicly made on social media or podcast appearances. My board chairman does nothing to curtail these women. In fact, she invites and encourages them. But the moment someone pushes back, she silences them. She limits others from speaking during public comment who don't play by her rules. She courts division on the board so she can reprimand about a lack of cohesion. Alyssa Tracy, seriously, fake news? Like filing a restraining order without merit because you don't want someone to attend a meeting, by taking all the court's time away from people, especially women, truly in harm's way when court dockets are tight. While you certainly have the right to freedom of speech and opinion, citing this as fake news when you fraudulently filed a restraining order is a tad hypocritical. Maybe think first. You are hands down one of the most hateful people I've ever met. She is so vile on the board. Joanne O'Brien, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. You sought a protection order against a man who never contacted you directly. You haven't been stood up to in a long time. Get used to it. You gave incoherent testimony. You wasted the court's time. You talk about bullying, but you are the biggest bully of all. Becky Fless is a bully. I cited her toxic leadership as the #1 problem in our district. She inspires fear, and families do not speak out because of the real possibility of retribution. The reason our board is not getting along is because Becky has zero moral leadership. If she wants people on our board to work together, she will act with ethics, and she is not doing so. She is a snake in the grass. Megan Carlson, she is so nasty in the meetings, but the first chance that somebody challenges her worldview, she gets nasty. Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde sometimes. So after hearing this, as you can imagine, I was pleasantly surprised to see that a board member is up for censure. The board code of ethics clearly states making disparaging remarks in or out of board meetings about other board members or their opinions is against policy. This board member continually does so, and I hope today's censure sends a clear message it needs to stop.
Mark Turek.
Good evening. Pardon my voice. First of all, sorry, it's that time of year. My name is Mark Turek. I live in Randolph. It's nice to be here tonight. I want to thank you all for kind of being a public servant and trying to help the kids. I'm just a little bit concerned here with what's going on with our education system. As you all know, just as a reminder, Maine Public Schools right now, from what I've read, ranked 41st in the nation. Our most recent MSAD11 report cards are far from aggressive. We really need to get back to teaching the basics. It seems like we've gone off on a very political tangents, and especially with the far left. Both local organizations and out-of-state organizations are clearly involved. And it's for those of us who actually live in the area, and when we have questions, what is the best way for us to get questions answered from the board? I sent questions to Mrs. Fless and all the board manager, or all the board members twice. Mrs. Fless has never responded. Fortunately, 2 of the board members did, and I thank them for that. But you know, you say you can send messages in, but if you're not responding, what do we do? And I've actually even been told that Mrs. Fless, I believe, has told other board members not to respond. How can we get information as local, whether your kids are in the school or if you're a taxpayer, if you're concerned and they're not responding, that's not right. You know, whether you're on the right or the left, it doesn't really matter. You know, the politics have gotten out of control. We need to go back to the basics. And I hope you'll answer my questions because they're pretty simple. Thank you.
Thank you. Jennifer Richardson.
Jennifer Richardson from Gardner. I've read comments that schools should focus on traditional academics and shouldn't address any social emotional skills. It finally dawned on me that people have no idea what schools are like. Schools don't teach social emotional skills because they want to. They teach them because they have to. I had to learn many new teacher skills in my last 10 years of teaching that I didn't need before. I'm thoroughly trained in how to get out of a hair pull, a choke hold, get out of a bite, and train how to deflect a punch. I read comments about woke curriculum. One piece of woke curriculum I learned and was expected to teach was what to do in an active shooter situation, how to hide, be silent, and how to barricade a door. Lessons added as a result of need, not want. Schools wouldn't address social emotional skills unless they had to. It used to be that there were 1 or 2 significantly behaviorally challenged students in a school. Now there are at least 2 in every classroom. Teachers have to address basic skills like how to eat at a table and how to sit in a chair. Kids come to school with limited experience in unstructured play, taking turns, solving conflicts, cooperation, and sharing aren't skills kids arrive at school with like they used to. The bottom line is students are arriving at school with fewer and fewer life skills. Until students arrive at school with those basic skills, the schools will have to address them because the alternative is not workable. Instead of criticizing schools for addressing these skills, I encourage you to reflect on why they have to. I encourage you to have a conversation with the teacher in your neighborhood. And one final comment I'm a little disturbed to hear about, and I got this
5
comment
seconds.
too, that you shouldn't file a lawsuit. When somebody calls you a child mutilator,
Time.
sorry.
Thank you. Fred Merrill.
Okay, my name's Fred Merrill. I live at 64 Hinkley Road in West Gardner. I'd like to talk to you about the bullying of the children in this school system. I, for one, am not going to put up with it. And I think there are board members on this board that condone it. And I think you know probably who I'm talking about. Bullying comes from out of state, some clown named Elvin, and wants to bully my grandchild because he spoke to you. It's pretty much unacceptable. I'd like to know how many of you board members think it's okay to bully children? Because I think there are some here. Because you belong to a group that this guy, Elvin, participates in. So, just gonna sit there, I know, because no participation. But you should be ashamed of yourselves. 5 of you. Everybody knows who you are, so I don't have to say. But I'm gonna be here, and I'm gonna call you people out on the street, on every corner in this school district. Because you're not bullying my children, my grandchildren, or anybody else's. That's it.
Thank you. And that ends the public comment.
Includes public comment. Oh, let's see, review and approval of the agenda minutes, prioritization of items and alteration of the established agenda format sequence as needed.
Excuse me, Madam Chair.
Did she sign up after all, or no?
No, her class, right?
Yes.
Her teacher is
Oh,
here.
yes.
Yes, okay, yes, her teacher is here. She just wanted to be sure, she wanted to be sure she was doing the right thing,
Oh,
and she
didn't want to
is.
leave her out.
Me neither. I want to hear from all of them. Okay, prioritization of items and alteration of the established agenda format sequence as needed. Motion to approve?
Point of order?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor of approving the agenda?
I have a point of order, madam.
Yes,
The point of order is called, you should have responded to that.
Yes.
Not allowed the.
yes,
motion in
Jeff, I know.
Okay, so if we could back up a little bit and just respond to the point of order that was asked earlier.
What is your point of order?
So a motion to consider the censure of a board member.
Mhm.
Point of order is agenda item 3A,
Mhm.
as written, violates policy BEDB, agenda preparation and dissemination. Additions and adjustments to a meeting agenda can only be proposed after the meeting has been called to order. Under agenda preparation dissemination, policy BEDB states the superintendent in consultation with the chair shall prepare an agenda for each meeting of the board. The agenda shall include items of the board plans to address in performing its duties as the governing body of the school unit in accordance with Maine law and board policies. Under requests for agenda items, it states board members, district staff, groups or organizations, and members of the public may submit written requests to the board through the chair or the superintendent for items to be placed in the agenda. The chair and the superintendent shall make the final decision regarding placement of items on the agenda. The item for the censure from me censuring Becky Fless was requested more than 14 days ago and is within the scope of the board's duties, timely and appropriate for consideration under all applicable laws and board policies. Additionally, Chair Fless stated in an email dated November 6th, policy BEDB indicates that the request must be received a minimum of 14 days prior to the meeting at which the individual wishes the item to be addressed. Your proposed motion will be placed on the agenda for the next regular board meeting in December. It's not on the board, it's not on the agenda when you assured that it would be on the agenda. Therefore, the motion to censure should be considered part of the agenda, not in addition requiring a motion, second, or vote. It should be under new business.
So when you sent that email, and I instructed you about the 14 days, I reached out to the district's attorney and said, how do I do this? So the actual word for word verbatim email that I sent to you came from the district's attorney. When it comes to setting the agenda, the board leadership sets the agenda. We again consulted our attorney, and our attorney said it doesn't need to be, it shouldn't be under new business. It requires a motion and a second. And not only do you get to censure me, which is fine, I get to respond.
Okay.
So it stays where it is at the advice of our attorney.
And that is not what you said. In the email you sent to me, you specifically said it would be added to the agenda, not as a prioritization.
And it feels as though you are nitpicking about this. It took us, may I say how long it took us?
Yeah.
Took us 4.5 hours to set the agenda because we wanted to get this right.
And you didn't, because you're
well, then
violating,
would
you're
you-
violating policy BEDB. You are violating your own policy, which you've done many times, ma'am.
Can I say something? I'm just asking,
I'm sorry, you're out of order for speaking.
I just, is that?
She just asked if
I
she
just
could.
asked if I could speak.
I didn't see an agreement. You didn't.
Not all of us say point of order first.
Not everyone says point of order, that's correct.
Yeah, I don't yell before I speak. I looked at Becky and said, may I speak? Sorry if you didn't catch that. I just want to clarify. to me, can you read the part about where Becky says it will be on the agenda?
Yep, sure. Actually, hold on one moment. I'll bring up her email in entirety.
Cause
Just give me one
in my,
I'll
My
happily
own-
read that out loud. Hold on one moment. So,
I just feel like it is on the agenda. The
no,
topic that you brought forth.
It's an end
In
run
order
around.
to, what you're doing is a huge waste of our time.
No, it's
She
actually
put it
not.
on the
So-
agenda, we are gonna do the thing.
So let me read, you asked me to read, so I will say, this is the email that I sent to Becky. I said, I move that consideration of the following resolution be added to the agenda under new business. Resolved that Chair Becky Fless is hereby censured by this board for her comments speaking as chair of the MSAD11 School Board at a dinner hosted by the Maine School Management Association for board chairs and aspiring board chairs. Contrary to paragraph C of our board member code of ethics, Chair Fless publicly denigrated the motives of 4 members of this board as being different from the majority, with specific implication that these members are on the board for reasons which are not for the kids. Not only did Chair Fless deliberately impugn the motives of several members, she did so as an invited speaker in a forum where her comments were being offered to the community of Maine school board members and leaders as expert opinion from an experienced leader. Chair Fless even made clear to her audience that her fellow board members from MSAD11 attending the conference was one of the 4 suspect members with an explicit accusation that this member's primary goal for being on the school board is to disrupt the board. These comments are especially troubling given Chair Fless's official duty to be the public spokesperson of the MSAD11 board at all times. Now, it is correct that Becky responded and said, it is a violation of Maine's freedom of access law for us to make motions and conduct board business by email. Motions should not be made outside the properly called board meeting, so I cannot treat this as a legitimate motion. Nonetheless, board members are permitted to make a request to the chair or superintendent that items be placed on the agenda. Policy BEDB indicates that the request must be received a minimum of 14 days prior to the meeting at which the individual wishes the item to be addressed. I will treat this as such a request and approve the request. Your proposed motion will be placed on the agenda for the next regular board meeting in December. So in fact, you did say that it would be on the board meeting and you did cite policy BEDB and agenda preparation and dissemination, and you are again violating the policies our board has.
I'd like to say
Yes.
something. I think that probably what Megan was trying to get at is where I'm gonna go, is that the motion that you're making is a dilatory motion. And it's made with the purpose of obstructing or delaying or frustrating the will of the assembly, which is Robert's Rules of Order. I believe that it is in section 39. And I think that that's what you've been doing for a long time. And I think you've been misusing point of order as a way of interrupting what's going on. And I think that due to that, I think that it should be stricken from the agenda. Because I think your motion is retaliatory and it's weaponizing our code of ethics against one another. And I don't think that should be tolerated in this room. We have a lot of work to do, and people have voiced the fact that they don't want to see anyone arguing or fighting anymore. And I think what you just started was an argument. And I'm going to motion to have it stricken from the agenda.
Second.
May I respond to you?
I don't know that you would let anyone else respond.
I'm not sure actually we might want to check that you're
The point of order.
able to respond,
You made a-
because I'm speaking for
No, I made a point of order and you have to start speaking.
Yeah, you don't get to stop, she doesn't have to stop speaking.
She doesn't have to
I've made
stop
a point of
speaking.
order.
Yeah,
And I get to recognize you, Jeff. Come on.
Listen, I know how this works.
I do too.
Same thing.
So
You all do
a
the
motion has
same
been
thing.
made and seconded.
Yeah.
Now you have to bring it up for a vote and a discussion.
Point of order, there's a first motion and second that still have yet to be called.
That's correct.
I think that got pulled back because
Did it? Okay,
the point of
thank you.
order.
Okay.
came in first, so we're
Thank
in a
you.
motion in the point of order.
Thank you, Tony. I'm trying to keep up.
So discussion on the motion.
Discussion on the motion.
May I speak?
Yes, you may speak.
I feel like, thank you, Kate, for, expressing all the things that I definitely want to say. I feel like. Never mind. No, sorry. I want to be very careful and very articulate and very respectful, so, I just feel like we're taking up all this time. And from what you just read out loud, I don't feel like there's, like, I don't feel like that actually falls under the, like, what you're saying. Sorry, I'm very shaky at the moment.
My last comment was cut off. It is what I read. Let me back this up a little bit. My motion is not dilatory. It is not trying to get people to fight. It is trying to get our leadership to actually be a real leader. Under policy BCA-D, it says, I will remember at all times that as an individual, I have no legal authority outside the meetings of the board, but I will conduct my relationship with the school staff, local citizenry, and media communications on this fact. Also, under section P of our ethics, I will resist every temptation and outside pressure to use my position as a school board member to benefit myself or any individual agency apart from the total interest of MSAD11. Becky, you used your authority to disparage a third
Michelle,
of your
honestly,
faith.
what are you doing? I have these printed out right here. We can pass them around. These are yours. This is what you've been doing the last couple, how long?
Well, actually, I
have you
haven't
been
said
here?
stuff in quite some time. I actually stopped.
Oh,
Thank you.
Point of order.
I just whacked the mallet.
We're
Wait a
discussing,
minute.
we're discussing
We're
the
discussing the
motion.
motion, okay?
To strike this, right?
To strike.
Yes. I think we have a motion and a second.
And I would like to speak on that topic.
Thank you.
One, you make a lot of allegations. And I have heard no verifiable proof that any of it is true in the first place.
Check your email. I sent the audio videos.
Excuse me. Excuse me.
Yep. Becky was caught on camera, not on camera, on audio at the School Board Association meeting, and I have provided all of you with the audio.
You need to let Joanne speak.
Secondarily, in print, you have disparaged a number of us as, and we're not calling for a censure of you right now. Maybe we should.
Go for it.
It's a waste of our time.
But the big point is it's a waste of our time. We've got so much stuff to do. And you want to do all of this point of order, point of order, point of order, and you are the biggest purveyor of discord here.
That is untrue.
You call people groomers? You call me dark and vile?
Point of order, this is not about me, you, or anybody else.
It
It is
is
about
about
Becky
you.
Fless.
It
No,
is about
it is
you.
about Becky Fless. The
It is
motion is about
about
Becky
you.
Fless. Nope.
She didn't call you by name.
I mean it.
Thank you.
Apparently, Michelle, you believe that the policies apply only to me, but not you. And you clearly have broken them over and over, and that's okay. The reason I have never asked to censure you is because I don't need to humiliate you. I don't need to do the door needs to remain open. It is unkind. It is humiliating. And if you ever wanted to speak with me personally, I would happily do that. I have tried to talk with you, Jeff. You don't return calls. I've spoken to you, Barry, one time in public. Didn't ever know that we had any, it's my beliefs that you don't like, and that's fine. So we can
We're all in
vote.
that boat. We all don't. There's 5 of us that don't like the other 5 beliefs, but we're all on different sides of the
Don't
aisle.
care. I
Okay, but I'm
don't,
saying we all do that. It's not gonna be a thing where.
I'm not writing anything about
we all do
anyone.
that.
I'm here for one reason.
You should.
I really am.
Okay, we have a motion and we have a second. All those in favor of striking it from the agenda? All those opposed to striking it from the agenda? All those abstaining? I'm sorry.
Oh, this is a weighted one. I'm gonna, just to be sure, enter it. The yes votes, 7,077, no, 4,237. Motion stands.
So with that being said, I have prepared a statement because I welcome the censure. It's okay. When you're trying to do what's right and trying to lead, not everyone agrees, and that's fine. You don't have to agree with me. I don't have to agree with you, but it doesn't mean I don't like you, and it doesn't mean I disparage you or that I write things about you. I will say, and I am going to read my statement, Michelle, I never used anybody's name. The only other board member that was in that workshop was Tony. I could have meant him. He was the only one. Were you at that workshop? No. Thank you. So on November 6th, Board Member Tucker sent an email to the entire board, all of our administrative staff and the staff of each of our towns requesting that a motion to censure me be added to the agenda for the meeting that was to take place in just a few hours. Upon receiving the email, the district's attorney assisted me with a reply because I understand the importance of accuracy in situations such as these. On October 22nd, Tony and I attended the chair, vice chair, aspiring chair workshop at the MSMA Fall Conference. A survey was sent to the registered participants before the workshop, inquiring as to the topics that would be most helpful for discussion. I have it here. This is the slide deck. Anybody here may look at it, but you can't have it because it is proprietary. Didn't have it before it. I got it from Eric Waddell, who is the executive director of Maine School Boards Association, Maine School Management Association. A survey was sent. The workshop was 2.5 hours in length. It was not a dinner. It was a workshop with light snacks, cookies, cold beverages, and coffee. The topics of the conversation of the workshop included what happens when your board goes sideways, as well as other relevant topics. I was not an invited guest. I was a paying participant, as was Tony. I was not on the panel. I was not on the stage. I sat near the front with other board members that I know. I did not have an audience any more than any other participant in this workshop. There were probably 135 people there. I had none of that. I raised my hand when I participated and waited to be called on, as did every other participant in the session. The complaint says that not only did Chair Fless deliberately impugn the motives of several board members, she also, as an invited speaker in a forum where her comments were being offered to the community of school board members across Maine and leaders as an expert opinion from an experienced leader. That is untrue. I was on a level playing field with other board chairs, board vice chairs. and people with aspirations to become chairs. Tony and I have gone to that workshop every year for years because we want to be better. We want to know how to do it. And we're not perfect. You can wait, Jeff. I'm not done.
I know you're not, but
And I also know you don't like to listen to my 15 minutes of lecture. I get that. You need to wait.
then everybody gets the same turn you get.
That's up to Tony. This is untrue, as stated in the previous bullets. Chair Fless made it clear to her audience that her fellow board member from MSAD11 attending the conference was one of the 4 suspect members with an explicit accusation that this member's primary goal for being on the school board is to disrupt the board. Is our board a little bit sideways right now? Is the community and are our students noticing it? Yes, they are. I did raise my hand and speak to the difficulties we are having. I mentioned nobody's name, and I would not do that. Our board is sideways. And everyone there knew it. I didn't even have to bring it up. As soon as you say MSAD11, the room knows. The point of the workshop, as it was intended, is to be a safe, honest, interactive, and helpful school board workshop for people that are really, boards that are experiencing real disruption. If we're just supposed to stay silent about it, you need to tell me that. The one thing that I do agree with in this entire complaint is that spending time impugning other people's character is against policy. I'm committed to following the policies of MSAD11. The district ones, as well as, and especially the ones that are in statute. It's my goal to follow the law at all times, here as well as in our community. Our laws and policies are in place to protect us and to ensure that we have guidance and a framework for our work, which is to do the best of our abilities, what is in the best interest of students while working with and including their parents in everyday events of their child's experience. The board member making these accusations was not at the workshop. Information being shared is inaccurate and third-hand. And if the board wishes to make decisions based on rumor and third-hand information, then you know how to vote. I myself prefer facts. Thank you for listening to my rendition of the workshop that I attended. Jeff, you'd like to speak now.
Thank you. My complaint isn't about anything you said, really. It's that we took a vote a moment ago to end discussion on the very subject you just spoke of for 8 or 10 minutes on. You shouldn't have done that.
I'm sorry.
We should have gone on.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But I have been impugned
But again,
for a year.
again, if you allow the motion, the motion was allowed to be discussed, that would all, every side would get out.
So maybe I
But we
should have read
voted
it during discussion.
Point of order. I believe that what's happening, I can talk. I believe that what's happening right now is that she's answered your question and you don't like it, but she's answered it.
She's point about
and
it.
it should be done.
She is interrupting without making a point.
She did make a
I
point.
just
You don't
made
have
a
that.
point.
You don't have the right to do that. All my point is that we had a vote to end discussion, but you then continued the discussion.
So what would you like to happen now?
Well, I'm just reminding you, that's not how we're supposed to operate. I don't
think
accuse
much of
anyone.
this.
I know everyone here wants to do the right thing. I want to do the right thing.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead. You just had a vote to end discussion, stop the discussion. Let's continue with the agenda.
Perfect. Thank you.
Motion to review and approve agenda and minute.
Second,
All those in favor?
One personal privilege, please.
Yes.
Mr. Vice, may I?
Yeah.
Minutes,
Uh,
Please.
Sure. And I'm sorry, Barry, I don't have any idea where personal privilege goes, so please.
Appreciate it. So due to changes in my circumstances over the last few months, I've wrestled with the idea of resigning my position here on the school board. I've been lukewarm and I've served with 1 foot in and 1 foot out. I held down due to a feeling of betrayal to my colleagues and to the district members who have supported and encouraged me to continue my efforts and keep up the good fight. However, when faced recently with the embarrassing reality that I had fallen asleep during our meetings, I had to come to terms with what has to be done. The district deserves representatives who are fully involved and committed, like my friend Michelle, who sits across from me, who does the homework and is fully involved despite a tough schedule and in spite of health issues and relentless attacks of activist extremists. Ironically, largely from the same individual who has brought me to terms with my reality. It gives me pause to ponder if this is actually about having involved in active representatives or having reps that ideologue with a similar guild. Regardless of the motive, the fact of the matter was still relevant, and that I was not the rep that the district deserved. Every seat on this board should be occupied by reps like Michelle and also like Alyssa Tracy, who I didn't see eye to eye with on many issues, but was nonetheless and arguably a great rep. It is for this reason, effective immediately, I ask both the district and the board to accept my recognition that sleeping during a meeting is not a good look and is in direct violation of my waiver of human fallibility. I'd like to issue an apology to any and all of the perfect people whom I so deeply offended, along with my vow to, when possible, nap prior to board meetings going forward. Thank you to Ms. Sides for the much needed wake-up call, pun intended, and also to Emily Duggan for her riveting, unbiased journalism and her passion for bringing us only the most important local news. Thank you.
Thank you, Barry. Thank you. It's a shame, yeah.
Sorry, may I say one thing? I appreciate the spirit of what you read. However, I have the 2.5 hours of that meeting on audio, and I'm happy to share it with the district because what you said was not accurate, but we should go on. Thank you.
Wait, point of order.
I'm all set. I'm done talking.
Where
Thank
was,
you.
you were not supposed to talk about it anymore. We've been cool on this.
Previous. Approval of the agenda. Motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Questions or comments? All those in favor?
I think we had that. We had Molly. Can we call the motion that I made, second by Tony?
Yeah.
For approval of the
Okay.
agenda.
Absolutely. All those in favor? Approval of minutes of previous meetings, regular school board meeting, November 6, 2025.
So moved.
Second.
Was that Joanne?
All those in favor? Recognition and celebrations.
Yes, I wanted to, don't worry, we did strike through item A, but we'll get back to that. It's not gone, it's just postponed. Yeah, I wanted to make sure that you all know that we had some great information regarding Hub 5 adult education. We received a letter indicating that we were a top performer from the state of Maine for the fiscal year 2025. A top performer is a program that has met or exceeded the state target in measurable skills gained and other performance targets. So really great news from our adult ed team.
Yay.
Yeah.
Cool. Let's see, correspondence, none. Capillary.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah, I was going item by item. So should I say recognitions and celebrations as written?
as written.
As written. I actually may now that we've just gone as written, I do want to mention that in addition to the National Honor Society efforts and the 150 Thanksgiving baskets that they created for our community and distributed throughout the community, Riverview School also held a food drive and a family dinner that was led by the 4th grade team and early act students who helped serve the dinner. The goal at Riverview was to collect 500 food items and they collected 1,200 items. They're really proud of their efforts. I'm just going to tack it on there because we don't want to leave out one organization. The Maine State
No.
Credit Union also donated 3 Thanksgiving baskets
Mhm.
and we were able to distribute those throughout the community as well. So thank you to all of those folks supporting our own.
They have a giant pie sale at the credit union also, a couple days before Thanksgiving. Committee reports. Capital Area Technical Center, no meeting. Curriculum, no meeting.
Can I say something real quick? January 22nd, open house at the tech school, the technology school.
great.
Put it on your calendar. You'll really want to go.
Nice. What was the date?
January 22nd, I believe it's a Thursday.
Is it an evening meeting?
It's not a meeting, it's an open house. I think it starts at 4 and goes to 7, but I will get more details on that. Perfect. Later.
January 22nd.
I think so, yes.
It is a Thursday.
My pen is not working. Okay. The little people. She's a doing.
Well, she'll probably run that.
You want me to go?
Well, let's, policy go first. And then we'll do that. Okay. And our students are ready. And then we're ready. When it's time.
Okay, we did not alter the agenda to bump administrator reports up, but we do have students with us tonight. If you all are agreeable to allowing our students to present next, this is in lieu of our administrator reports. We have students sharing tonight.
A different
A
format.
little different format. We are bringing you positive news from the folks who are doing it. Yes.
Do we need a motion to change that or?
Sure.
Yeah, I would move, yeah, we hear the
Second.
student report.
All those in favor?
Indeed.
Excellent, thank you.
Okay. First up, we have LER.
We do. So, sorry, I changed my screen. So LER is a very special community of learners, educators, and families. I'm really lucky to work with such a dedicated group who fully believe in shared responsibility. One example of this incredible work I would like to highlight for you all. I can't read, so sorry. I need to make this bigger. For you tonight involves a first grade student who at the beginning of the year was extremely reluctant to read in class and at home. Miss Annette McGee. Through the support of her teachers, Jordan Lancaster and Tony Richardson, and her parents, Sarah Beth and Scott, working together and providing Annette with ample opportunities and praise has demonstrated incredible growth and confidence in her reading ability. Today, Annette agreed to us filming her reading 2 books with her Title I literacy teacher, Ms. Tony, so that you can see the magic that happens when everyone pulls together in the same direction with the student at the center of it all. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Sound really hard to get playing this thing.
Can read, she can read. He can read, she can read. I can read, you read. I can read. I see, he, can see. You can read. She, me, he, we, can read. Great job.
Second book now? Annette, are you ready to read? Okay, let's go.
It is thin. Can a cat fit? Yes, it can fit in a box. Can a man fit in a box? No, it can't. Can a cat fit? Yes, it can.
Okay, that deserves a standing ovation.
That was amazing. Wow, amazing.
Thank you, Annette. You're a rock star reader.
Up next is Emily Minot, fifth grade teacher over at HE, and she has prepared something to read about something she did very special in her class. And
Yes, I do. I actually have two students with me, which is exciting.
you guys,
Yeah, come on up. So hello, my name's Emily Minot. I teach fifth grade at Helen Thompson School. This year I tried something new with my students. It's called NF Elementary. This is a program created by Mary Crippen, a teacher from Florida with a passion for football. She noticed students had similar interests in sports and began teaching them lessons based on current and previous NFL seasons and players. Mary likes to say that these lessons go beyond the gridiron because we're teaching students about more than just football. For example, my students today, they can attest to it, practiced long division today by calculating Drake May's average passing yards so far this season, which was really cool. I've been collaborating virtually with Mary herself and hundreds of other teachers to launch the programs in different classrooms across the country or just kind of get our foot in the door. On the second day of school, students in my class drafted a team to follow through the NFL season. They've become champions of their teams and look forward to watching them play. Students track their team's records in their individual binders. Once a week, we talk about what happened the week before, do a new lesson about a different topic, and discuss next week's games. Some favorite lessons students have had so far this year were about making inferences from analyzing photos of players on the field or clips of players on the field. Opinion writing about whether or not it's right for fans to boo their teams or coaches. And looking at specific players for life lessons. For example, we looked at Jackson Dart's debut when he replaced Russell Wilson. We discussed how if something isn't working, you might need to change your strategy or to have perseverance because you never know when it might be your chance to shine or when that might pay off. Your work will pay off. Each student also wrote a letter to their team at the beginning of the school year. They hand addressed these envelopes to the stadiums, practicing their writing and addressing letters. And we've been patiently waiting for a response. Vincent would like to share with you his response that he got from the Baltimore Ravens. Yeah, well, just you can tell them about what happened and what you got in the mail.
So when I wrote to the Baltimore Ravens, I wasn't expecting to get a letter back because there's like hundreds of classrooms that would write to the Ravens. And when I got a response back, I was very happy and surprised. And I got a hat and a really cool message back from the Ravens.
And then Vincent has two facts to share and just a little piece about his experience.
So how the Ravens team was created, the mascot's name is Poe. And the Ravens, the football team, the Ravens, were named after a poem called The Raven. A poetess named Edgar Allan Poe wrote The Ravens, and he died in Baltimore, and his grave is in Baltimore too. When my team, the Ravens, go against the Steelers, it will go to your record. Your records are 6-6 for the Ravens, and the Steelers' record is 6-6 for the wins and losses. I like NF Elementary because I was not into football, but since we are doing the NF Elementary, I am more into football now.
Wonderful. Nice job, Vincent. Margot also prepared just a fact or two about her team, the Bears, to share and her experience.
In the same teams are in the Bears at the same NFC North as the Bears, the Detroit Lions, the Green Bay Packers, and the Minnesota Vikings. I only have 56 players on the Chicago Bears. My experience of the Chicago Bears, I have really never liked football, but now I love it. And I know a lot about the Bears. I know that they won a Super Bowl in 1984 or 1988.
Yeah, so those are just some pieces from our students, but some of my other students said things like just that it's super fun to learn about football and have it tie in with our other subjects. It makes all learning more fun. I like researching my team and the history behind them. I also had a parent share with me recently that it's created a new interest for her student and given them something to socially connect with other students on that they hadn't had before. Which was really nice. So overall, it's been a good experience and something I'm excited about and want to kind of grow and incorporate into other subject areas. So yeah.
Thank you, Margot. Thank you, Vince. Thank you, Miss Minot.
Has a great voice. I was yell. Dropout prevention, no meeting. Finance committee. Let's see. We talked about the school revolving renovation fund. Andrea, do you want to? You can do it way better than me.
Do finance?
Well, the application update for the school renovation.
Yep, we submitted 2 applications, one for the entire ventilation school, one for the entire ventilation at the high school, the other for the how do you refer to it? Permeable layer?
Yeah, it's the drainage on the exterior to deal with air quality issues in the main office and see.
So we plan to hear, they're currently reviewing the renovation applications, and we plan to hear, I would say, around the 1st of, February. We're hopeful.
We also discussed main care billing. We discussed a stipend consideration for the Gardner Area High School activity account. We're creating structure and order around that account. And setting up some specific controls to help it to work better. And we mentioned out loud the fiscal year 2027 budget and our anthem medical loss ratio. So that's the finance committee. And if you'd like to watch it, it's on YouTube. Riveting.
Fine, perfect.
Thank you, Andrea. Next, policy.
All right, thanks very much. Tony V, Policy Committee Chair. We met on November 6th, so right before the full board meeting. And we have several policies to advance for first and second reading. Actually, what I'd like to do is clarify that I think we had wanted to actually waive the sort of the first reading for the one posted for first reading. We want to activate that, I think.
Yes.
So that we can clarify our drug and alcohol misuse by students, the administrative procedure. Excuse me one sec. We had updated that to look at how the sort of penalties and kind of the process is engaged when if a student is identified with drug and alcohol misuse. So just to clarify where our practice is. So I would like to advance that for a second reading, and then the rest of those for second reading, we've seen those for first reading in previous meetings. So moved.
Thank you. Questions or comments? All those in favor? Thank you, Tony. Wellness Committee. Who's our wellness person now?
Well, we don't have one. So
We're all sick.
So we're trying to rebuild the wellness committee.
Okay.
We have, so we need board representation. We have district representation and most building representation. So we're trying to build up the building representation. I think I failed to submit the minutes, and that's my fault. So I will do that so that it shows up in your next report. Generally, for the group we were working on setting our quarterly. We at the district level we meet quarterly, and building level they meet monthly, and then that feeds to the district, and then that comes to this group. And they were working on their wellness campaigns. Wellness campaigns is all types of wellness: physical wellness, financial wellness for staff, mental, social wellness kinds of activities. But really what they're talking about is like water challenge. And they put out all kinds of fruit infused water, and kids try different kinds, and staff drink as much water as they possibly can in a period of time, which is really hard because they don't all can use the bathroom readily. So that's always a little bit of we also need a coverage plan when we do the water challenge. There's a walking challenge. There's a lot of walking going on now at recess time, structured walking for kids. If they need a little bit more structure, morning recess, afternoon recess. Through the buildings. Middle school they're earning little shoes, little tiny shoes, not for their feet, but for a little ring as part of their, I think, 100-mile challenge. So that's what I mean by campaigns. It's like internal sort of group activities, opt-in, to just remind ourselves to move, to eat well, to drink well, to be connected to another human being. And it's usually fun and optional. And so they were sort of getting those all organized and talking about which ones some schools are doing and then which ones we can do across the entire district. We talked about suicide prevention training because we are mandated every 5 years to provide that. So we're ensuring we have an appropriate number of trainers in the district, and that's happening in January and March now to ensure that we have all the trainers ready to update our training for all staff. And that's really as far as we got in that particular meeting. But I'll get these minutes into a readable format for other people, send those to Martha. And then we will be having a meeting in January, hopefully with January or February, depending on when we can make sure we have a full representation. Wellness committee is required. It's part of your nutrition and health and wellness policy. And so the nutrition director also is included in that. And it gets a little more robust once we have our full membership.
It's an afternoon meeting, is that correct?
Yeah, we've been trying to figure out what works.
Okay.
And get whoever needs to be at the table. It's, our nutrition director works at like 6 a.m. until 2:30, but then board members tend to need an evening, and so we try to find something that works based on the membership and then keep it consistent for the year.
Okay, we'll work on that.
One of our more difficult groups to get together in one space at the same time. So, but we'll make it happen.
Yes, I believe that. It's happened in the past. We'll figure it out. Thank you, Angela. No report from the school-based health center, correct?
No meeting, next meeting,
And the
January.
next meeting is in January. Student rep report.
Hi.
You're on.
Okay, so we have a lot going over clubs this week. This past month. Starting off, all club photos for yearbook have been taken. And then it's more individualized. So book club, we're finishing up our first book of the school year and getting ready for our student and staff book club crossover event in January. The student library committee, we're preparing for books over break, where we make curated book bundles and then we send them home to students and staff. It's really fun. You get hot cocoa and a little candy cane.
Yeah.
Student council has been focused on the needs of the community for this season. We sponsored the mashed potatoes for NHS's Thanksgiving baskets, and we are eagerly awaiting receiving our Christmas family for Operation Christmas, hosted by Interact, which we're gonna get to in a second. We have loads of fun picking up toys, clothes, and books for local families. We like to go and do like a shopping night. It's pretty fun. And then in terms of school spirit, we have been excitedly starting to plan our winter carnival. So we're getting ready for that. Latin Club, we just went to the fall convention at Hampton Academy and we took home some hardware. Both Latin 2 both Latin 2 and Advanced Latin Kirtaman teams got third place trophies. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. And the delegation as a whole earned 5th place for overall academics and 2nd place for large school spirit, which is really good. We have to get like 25 kids to come to qualify as a large school. And then we're with the big kids. Who bring like 50, 60 kids. It's crazy. We have a lot of updates for Interact. The Interact Club has been active and engaged in several community initiatives this season. They did the Thanksgiving baskets also, where the Interact members contributed eggs, dessert mixes, stuffing, and bread mixes to support the 150 Thanksgiving Day baskets. The Winter Coat Drive, the club is collaborating with the Elks Club for the 2nd annual Winter Coat Drive. Donation boxes are located at Dave's Diner, the Boys and Girls Club, the City of Gardner office, and Goggins IGA, along with the high school, the Wild Heart Salon, and the Elks Club also has one. And they have flyers for the drop-offs at each location. The Festival of Trees, Interact partnered with GHS Student Council to sponsor a tree at Johnson Hall's festival for the Trees fundraiser. Their contribution, the teen tree, represents both clubs' commitment and community spirit. And sport. Parade of Lights. This Saturday, the Interact Club will march in the City of Gardner's Parade of Lights alongside the Rotary and Early Act Club. The Middle School Interact, which is the Early Act. Mrs. DeSoto will meet with the middle school students on Friday to begin rebuilding the Middle School Interact program and to strengthen the connection across grade levels. Operation Christmas, where they're sponsoring 25 families for this year for Operation Christmas, ensuring local families have the support they need during the holiday season. And the Tiger Food Pantry continues to see an increase in families relying on its services, thanks to the incredible generosity of our MSAD11 community through food drives and donations and ongoing support. We have been able to meet those growing needs, and we are deeply grateful. Some more information on Early Act. The Interact Club students have been mentoring Early Act members and collaborating on community projects. The Rotary, where the Interact Club students assist in Rotary events such as the Spaghetti Supper and Christmas tree sales this year. And they wanted to extend a big thank you to the board and our community partners for supporting Interact's efforts to serve, lead, and make a positive impact. And then to end things off, we have GSDA, the Gay Straight Diversity Alliance, where it's providing a safe space for students to connect, and meetings are weekly and include fun conversations, education, and planning for group activities. They do bowling activities and it's really fun with other schools. It's a crossover. Yeah. Okay. That's my pretty one.
That's a lot, Ella. Thank you.
Do you have time to go to class?
I want to be a kid again. Let's see. Administrator reports. None. We did
That was
that
the
already.
student.
We already did that. The children did it so well. General information as written,
As written.
nominations.
Yes, and we have the nominee in the house tonight.
That's him.
Michael Fryer, I am recommending hiring Michael Fryer as assistant principal at the Gardner Area High School with a starting salary of $101,734. Michael comes to us with experience as a bridge teacher, supporting in the capacity of assistant principal, the assistant principal realm, just a different title in a different system. He has the skill set and the philosophy to support students at our high school, and I would like to nominate Michael Fryer as the assistant principal at Gardner Area High School.
Oh, I move, we accept the nomination.
Second. May we ask where you're from?
Yes, coming from Madomic Middle School.
Oh, nice.
Before that, I was at Camden Hills Regional High School.
Excellent. I'm just curious. So motion and, yes, Barry.
What is bridge?
Can you help us understand what bridge?
Sure, yeah. So it's sort of third line administrator, ad hoc admin, in-school suspension program coordinator, SEL work, running the ship when an administrator is out, stepping into that role. I think I've had 12 days worth at this point of experience as assistant principal. And it's just a jack of many, many hats, putting out fires, that sort of
I was gonna say, it sounds like you do everything.
thing. Some days.
Some days, yeah. Excellent. All right, we have a motion and a second. Any other questions or comments? All those in favor? Welcome aboard.
Thank you.
Run across the bridge. Okay. New business?
Yes, so we had that great news for adult education, and likewise, we received a letter from the Maine State Department of Education indicating that for the school year 2025, our school nutrition program procurement review has been completed and there were no findings, which means that we were compliant in all of the guidelines and regulations put forth that Linda Surgeon and her school nutrition team are required to follow. So again, great news coming from school nutrition. That is it, general awareness, no action needed.
Excellent, thank you. Update and on changes at the USDOE.
Yes, just a couple of things I just want to put on everybody's radar. We have a priority notice that came out in late November, mid-November from the Maine Department of Education, letting us know that the Elementary and Secondary Education Act title programs, career and technical education, and adult education will now be housed under the U.S. Department of Labor. Early learning will be housed under the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. Indian education will be housed under the U.S. Department of the Interior. And it's unclear at this time whether special education, at the time of this bulletin, whether special education would be moved to a different agency. So there's been a lot of publicity in the news about some shifting of agencies to different departments. So I'll just keep you informed as I get updates. Just a general awareness for you all.
Next is approval of the addition of a licensed practical nurse, 4 hours a day at Riverview.
Yes, so we had earlier this fall in September, October, the needs in our buildings shifted. So and you know a little bit about this, so this is on your radar, but we had a nurse, we have a full-time nurse at Helen Thompson School, full-time nurse at the middle school, at the high school, full-time nurse at Pittston Randolph Consolidated School just recently, and a full-time nurse splitting time between LER and Riverview School. In late September, early October, the needs at LER shifted. And we needed to place the nurse full-time all day at LER. And what we are finding is that it's a real hardship at Riverview School where there have been significant student needs, and the staff at Riverview School is really making it work and making sure that student needs are being met. And it has become burdensome. We tried a lot of different things, including a model that's currently in place, which involves having additional administrative assistant support that is pulled from 2 other buildings, placed at Riverview for 3 days a week to try to help meet the need. And we're really at a point where without this level of support, we are overtaxing staff to do things beyond their regular job responsibilities. And so what I'm proposing tonight, and actually have been in regular consultation with Vicki Duguay, the principal at Riverview, and with Andrea, really having conversations around what could we do to provide nursing services at Riverview? Could we find the money for half days or part-time or some days, and what, 1 day a week, 2 days a week? Because my conversations with Vicki are really indicating that the most consistent amount of support we can provide is what we really need to do at this time. And so I'm proposing 5 days a week, 4 hours a day of a contracted nurse at Riverview School, which would allow us to move an administrative assistant back to the 2 schools where that person splits every day of the week. I have more information for you. I want to make sure to cover everything. As you know, this has involved the administrative assistants administering medications to students out of necessity, which happens in our buildings when the nurse is out. But it is a growing concern that this is going to be a long-term need at LER, and we really need to fix that or address the need at Riverview. In addition to the regular nursing responsibilities that nurses in each building do, they are also responsible for vision and hearing screening, for some training and courses depending on the age of the students in the buildings. We are not at a position for us to develop a rotating schedule, which might look like the nurse at the middle school supporting at Riverview 1 day a week, or the nurse at Pittston Randolph Consolidated supporting at Riverview. We also have extensively explored those options to avoid the need to use more funds for nursing, and have found that those are not options for us at this time. At this time, we do not have any substitute nurse coverage. So we do need to develop schedules when a nurse has to be out, and that looks like prioritizing the greatest need. And at this time, that looks like pulling a nurse out to provide necessary coverage at Laura E. Richards School. So I'm happy to answer questions, but I am proposing 4 hours daily of contracted nursing services for Riverview School.
Can you tell me estimated cost per hour for this practical nurse?
I can, but I'm going to turn to Andrea, who has been in conversations. And I want to be really clear, not because decisions have been made, but we wanted to be able to provide to you the information. One, are there contracting services that have people looking for these types of positions? Actually, as recently as this afternoon, we have the likelihood that we would switch to a registered nurse because that's what this contracting service actually has available. So I should be really clear about that. That was as of earlier this afternoon. So Andrea, I'm going to toss it over to you for specific position and cost.
So if you remember, we also have a contracted nurse at Pittston School. We're currently using this company that contracts with health services, so we have a relationship with them. When we discussed the need, we reached out to see what that might look like and whether or not they'd be able to find somebody who would be willing to do 4 hours a day, and they think that they have people available in the event that the board approves. We're looking at about $90, between $90 and $95 an hour, which is cheaper than employing a nurse and paying benefits. And we're not sure how long this need will last. So this seems like a perfect opportunity. The money is coming out of another position that was shifted to federal for this year. So it's freeing up some dollars. We'll have to revisit it during the budget discussion.
Thank you. Would anyone like to make a motion?
I would move that we do accept the position as listed for 4 hours a day, 5 days a week at Riverview.
Second from Megan. Any other questions or comments? All those in favor? Oh,
I was just gonna say, we want to change that LPN to RN, correct,
Yes,
in the motion?
correct. Thank you, Joanne.
all those in favor?
I think
Oh,
Jeff.
sorry, Jeff.
So, I mean, I'm in favor of this, by the way, but just a clarification, it's cheaper to have a contractual nursing situation than have a full-time employee. Is that what you said, Andrew? It's a cheaper way?
Generally, depending upon the benefits a nurse chooses, so if, it really depends, but for the most part, yes.
I mean, would that be something we should look at school-wide? In the future? I mean, it really has nothing to do with today's issue. I'll bring it up in the finance committee when we're talking about budget. It's a seed planted. So.
Would you like us to include that on the January or February agenda on finance?
I mean, I think it should be on the budget agenda as we discussed.
We can.
Yeah.
All right. All those in favor? Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you for the review. Really appreciate it, with no ideas, but it's different. Thank you.
One last question, man.
Sure.
The personnel we need, are they available right now to go to work?
We believe we'll have someone sooner than later, yes. Just don't want to make a promise for tomorrow being the day, but yes, we believe that this is a viable and quick option.
It is a clever idea. We had talked about, is there such a thing that has a pool of nurses? That's great. Consideration to approve moving an open special ed teacher position at Pittston Randolph Consolidated School to an Ed Tech 3 position at Helen Thompson.
Yes, I'm going to give this a go, and I know that Sarah's in the back ready to step in. As you know, we've had a real challenge filling special education positions, and we have an effective model in place at Pittston Randolph School to provide consistent services to students at this time. And so Sarah is at the podium now to take over. What we are proposing is consideration to take the funds that we would that we are not using for that special educator at Pittston Randolph School and shift to a to support a need in our STARS program.
So earlier this year, August, our STARS is our K-5 behavior program. It's housed out at Helen Thompson, but it has students from across the district that attend it. The census count was very low at the beginning of this year, and that program had a part-time social worker, a full-time special educator, and an education technician 3. We moved that education technician 3 over to Pittston to buddy up with another education technician 3 to provide instruction to students under the supervision of several individuals that are certified as special educators. Pittston has worked with that delivery model this year. It's been very successful. And STARS now has more students. They've had another student join in the last week that requires one-to-one support. And they have another student coming next week that requires a similar level of support. So our proposal would be, we don't have applicants for the Pittston teaching position at this time. Our proposal would be to close that position for the remainder of this year, post the position at Helen Thompson as an Ed Tech 3. And then this spring, if we manage to fill it this spring, have discussions about how we'll meet our needs next year with the staff we have now and the openings we have. Questions?
Say, what happens, yes, if we say yes, then we close the Pittston Randolph position. I don't know, something changes and we need someone there.
We're staffed right now at Pittston to support 35 identified students. We're in the mid-20s. We've not ever exceeded the low 30s, ever. Yeah, if that happens next week.
Right.
We're going to have to figure something else out.
No, but right, we've got a little sort of headroom or a threshold to work with. Okay, thank you. Yeah.
So I make a motion to approve.
Second.
Not allowed. I don't actually know if I'm allowed to second stuff.
Is she allowed to second?
I don't think so,
She's
Ella.
not.
But I appreciate that enthusiasm.
It's a good one.
Great.
I'll second.
You can third it.
I motion that we let Ella second.
There we go. We covered it. Okay. All those in favor? That was great, Ella. Thank you.
Thank you.
In a reaction. Thanks, Sarah.
That's good. Let's see, old business.
Yes, an update on our elementary inclusion specialist, Sarah. Stick around.
Don't go anywhere.
So back in August, we moved one of our inclusion specialist positions. So our inclusion specialist is the person that does all the paperwork. They set up IEP meetings, they do IEP paperwork, all of it except goals, progress reporting. They contact parents, they communicate with the school, they set up accommodations in our system for that. They do achievement testing, observations, all of those pieces. In theory, we have one at the K-5 level, at the 6-8 level, and the 9-12 level. And because we were in a deficit for special educators, we moved one of our inclusion specialists to Riverview. It's been a great fit. She still wants to be an inclusion specialist. The assistant special ed director and I have predominantly been covering that gap in paperwork. We'd love to have her back as inclusion specialist. But for the stability of Riverview, and given that we haven't had applicants there either that have accepted the position, we would propose closing that at this point and leaving the inclusion specialist in that position for the remainder of this year, so that everyone is settled. I've had a personal conversation with the inclusion specialist at that building, along with building administration, and everyone is in support of that.
Thank you, Sarah.
Yes, thank you.
There's no action required. That was just an update for you all.
Okay. Next. Board chair report, and that's an update on the tour of the schools.
Oh, I have, yep, an update for you. At last look, there were 6 responses to the tour of school survey. I'll just refresh to see. Okay. There you go. So there are the results.
Okay, so we picked 3 dates in January. Saturday the 10th, Saturday the 17th, and Saturday the 24th. As of right now, 85.7% can go on the 10th. 85.7 can go on the 17th, and 71%. So anyway, we have 6 that can go on the 10th, 6 on the 17th, and 5. That's a lot. Okay.
On the 24th.
On the 24th.
Yeah.
So I guess it's up to us. Yes, Mom.
Could we schedule for the 10th and have a snow day of the 17th?
Love that idea.
You think we're gonna have a snowy winter?
I hope so. I love that idea. All right, so we will schedule for the 10th. Thank you, Molly. And have a snow date of the 17th. Perfect.
Do we have an approximate time? We talking morning, afternoon? All day?
What time?
This is important. Gabe Dosty, are you available on
these 2 days?
Suppose I could make myself available.
Can you teach one of us to drive a bus? Don't do that.
Sorry, did you answer that question?
What? Oh, no.
Yeah.
What time,
What time?
Gabe? What
I don't know.
time?
What time do you? want
9?
to do? Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it'll take, well, depending on how quick we are in school.
It's not quick.
So,
How long does it take?
like, yeah, it's about like 3 hours.
Yeah.
It'll take about 3 hours.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's just cold.
Oh, right, because the school heats up.
Yeah,
Without going
right,
into
without
the
going
school.
into school, so.
When we do it in the summer.
Okay, so January, oh, sorry,
Okay, January 10th at 9 o'clock
with a snow date?
of the 17th at 9 o'clock.
Where are we meeting? High school?
Yes.
Sure, we can all
We're
park
meeting at
there.
Gardner Area High
Yeah,
School.
it's a big
And-
parking lot.
and
We'll
you'll-
park right there and
You'll have
we
what?
can
I love it.
Okay,
I require snacks.
And you require, yeah, we require snacks.
Coffee and snacks.
Muffins, donuts, cookies, you name it. You can even make it a date day.
Oh,
I don't think you.
Maybe he'll give me the microphone in the bus.
We know how you love participating. Okay,
Historic tour.
let's see. I think now it's your turn.
I think so. Okay, last month, there were questions that were raised about the school-based health clinic. I wanted to make sure that I had accurate information, so I'm just circling back to that item. And grant funding written on the agenda is not exactly accurate. I apologize for that because I didn't catch that. To be really clear, the project is budget neutral because no money is coming from local, state, or federal taxpayer money. None of the operational costs of the school-based health clinic will be paid by the district. We are responsible for preparing the space for Health Reach to run the clinic at the high school. So we're using tobacco settlement money. It was not a grant. It's the class action lawsuit settlement money. And we are required to spend that money on student health needs. And so this does qualify for that, but that is the investment of funds in order to prepare the space at the high school.
Questions?
Thank you for the clarification.
You're welcome. Thank you for the grace of a little extra time to make sure I had that.
Let's see. School board, state of the schools, board workshop in January.
Yes, so we might actually have to look at the timing of this, or you all will be booked for a lot of time in January. It's my understanding there's a third week of January where we usually put a board workshop. And with the tour of the schools, there could be a conflict, so if we can be flexible, that would be helpful. What I would like to do, what the administrators and I talked about this afternoon was preparing for you a State of the Schools presentation. We've done this in the past. It is really two parts. There is a visual presentation that we would prepare for you with some statistics and information that we would be able to share broadly throughout budget season with the community. And it would also include a more candid conversation with you all about a day in the life, what things really look like at school across all of our buildings. And so again, we've done this in the past and the feedback has been that it's been really informative and it's a great opportunity for administrators to be able to provide you with information Again, though it's a candid conversation, we certainly abide by FERPA and confidentiality, but it's an opportunity for you to understand some of the challenges and the day-to-day reality in our buildings. And so we would like to offer that in January. There's really no action required. I just want this on your radar, and I'd like some feedback from you, again, with some flexibility around the timing of that opportunity.
Are you looking to have this done on a Saturday or on a weeknight? What?
It would be a weeknight. Yeah.
We used to really often regularly have a bi-monthly meeting that would happen on a Thursday night. So it used to be that we would have on the first and third Thursdays available. We have not done that in probably 10 years, maybe even longer. But we have work to do, so we may need to do an occasional extra Thursday night in order to.
Do you want to pick one, or do you want to do it like a doodle poll?
I think if Thursday, January 15th, because that is the third week of the month of January, works for people, we can certainly plan for that.
And you can do it, I mean, just because we did it 10 years ago, doesn't mean we have to do it that way. You get to choose. You're the new superintendent.
Uh-huh.
I was just sort of giving background.
I do think January 22nd works better for me because I'll be in a workshop all of the 15th and 16th. I think that I would make it back, but I haven't attended before. What?
It's the open house.
Oh, it's CATC open house.
So
Well, we
that's-
can't do
yeah,
that.
can't do that, no.
Cannot be in two places at once.
What about the 29th?
Thank you, Michelle. It's over my head.
It's like an extra week of
There's
January.
one more, yeah,
I will spend it together.
January 29th, Thursday?
yeah.
I will be out of town.
Okay. You might be receiving another survey from me.
Does it have to be a Thursday night? Can we do it another night?
It does not have to be a Thursday night.
Can I propose something maybe a little bit different? What about the 19th? It's Martin Luther King Day, so there's no school. Maybe we could.
It's a non-work day for us, and I think that's important. Our administrators are working like 12 hours.
Okay, got it. So, okay.
Including me.
Can we move it to February?
The 27th.
7th of January? Sounds really good to me.
January 27th, it's a Tuesday. It would be a Tuesday evening. Whoa, whoever just proposed that, we might have just. Okay,
Tuesday, the 27th?
Tuesday, January 27th.
What time?
6 o'clock? 5 o'clock?
Yeah.
Could you make it?
I may be late.
5:30? Can we split the difference?
I'll do my best.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
too, that's not
No.
too early for you still.
5 o'clock?
It's a difficult week. We're gonna make this happen. You don't have to change.
Was it 5 or
just the one
5:30?
number.
Sorry.
Are we, you know,
We're at 5 o'clock, January 27th, 5 o'clock, 5 PM.
Okay.
Okay, thanks, everybody.
Yeah, yes,
All
please.
right, okay.
I'm just getting it in my calendar again.
We're racing the clock right now. We have the middle school, the Gardner Regional Middle School's drama production of 67 Cinderellas happening tonight, tomorrow night, Saturday night, so clever, at 7 PM over at the high school in the Little Theater. So I hope everybody can attend. We are hoping to get there tonight, many of us. So
And Molly, if you
wanted
need to
to make
go,
sure
you
to-
should go.
promote that. Next up, we also, in addition to some of the things that have been discussed tonight, the excitement happening downtown this weekend, we are actually hosting a Wreaths Across America event. We have done this in the past. It was a couple of years ago. The entire Wreaths Across America convoy is going to stop at the middle school at between 3 and 3:15 on Sunday, this Sunday. And Sarah Sims, I don't know if you want to add anything, but we're really proud to be able to host this event again.
Absolutely. So 2 years ago, they chose Gardner Regional Middle School as one of the stops on the convoy. It was probably one of the most incredible experiences of my life, and it takes months to plan this out, and I mean months. You have like meetings every week, you're in it with like local police, you're in it with people down at the Pentagon, right? Like it is like a very structured and well-organized oiled machine. And you kind of go along for this like ride of like, okay, because they're coming in with 17 sometimes plus tractor trailers to park. The convoy that comes along with it is sometimes 30 plus vans and cars and military. I mean, it is like an incredible feat watching it come it through and into our parking lot in this well-oiled, this is the first person who parks in exactly this spot. I mean, it is down to the details, was just like awe-inspiring. I have a brother who's buried at Fort Indian Town Gap in Pennsylvania, and Wreaths Across America goes there to put wreaths on those graves, and so does that for my brother every year. So that's very personal for me, in ways. So they originally choose different places every year. One of the spots they had in our local area was unable to actually host with some of the things going on, some of the government shutdown that they were experiencing and were afraid to commit and not be able to follow through. So they reached out to us kind of last minute and we're like, hey, we had such a wonderful experience in MSAD11. Is there any way you guys would be willing to take this on? And instead of having like the 6 months, we've got 2 weeks. And I went, absolutely. And the good news is we've done it in our space before, so we didn't have to reinvent the wheel. So that was kind of nice for them. It gave them the stuff that they needed. And so it's an honor to have them back in our community. We're working, of course, with our local veterans to kind of pull this together. So they're working on their side in conjunction with us. So truly a community effort for MSAD11 to really let us shine and to honor those who have served not only in our community, but across, the US and who maybe are no longer with us. So it's really neat. If you get the chance, there is 0 parking at the middle school for this. It will 100% be tractor trailers and the convoy, but we have lots of parking at the Elks Club, the Sportsman's Club, the Veterinarian, and of course the road, and our local police will be there to support trafficking needs. So super cool. If you get the chance, come check it out. It's amazing.
Awesome.
And one more plug, it's not on the agenda. Our transportation department will be featured in the Parade of Lights on Saturday.
Yep.
You can't miss it.
Nope. That is the conclusion of our public business. We now have a couple of executive sessions that we're gonna try and quickly accomplish so that we can get. Thank you all for coming. It's nice to see you. Everyone have a wonderful holiday. Welcome.
We're going to be talking to Tom tomorrow, so we'll be seeing you soon.
Oh, it's.
Good
See
night.
you over there.
Thanks, Terry. Sorry about that.
Okay, we're back on.
Okay.
We go into executive session, A, to discuss, update the status of, contract negotiations, as listed.
The second motion.
All those in favor?
Would be referencing statute when we. Sorry.
As we do it.
Probably.
Yes.
When at one MRSA, section 405, subsection D6. D.
Sorry.
Okay.
We're good.
So a motion to enter executive session?
I'd like to make a motion to enter into executive session to discuss contract negotiations, one MRSA subsection 4056A.
And it's superintendent.
And it's the superintendent's contract.
Second.
All those in favor? So it feels a little funny.
Oh, hold on.
Oh, are we ready?
Yep.
Read.
And Terry, are we still in executive session? We're online.
Okay, great. So we have a motion on the floor.
I didn't, it is, yeah.
Oh, that's right. We were still in. Would you please make your motion again? Yeah. You were saying it.
I'd like to make a motion that we extend the present superintendent's contract by 1 year.
I second. Thank you. That would be, thank you. That would be until June 30th of 2027. Questions and comments? All those in favor? Excellent. Thank you so much. Go to dance.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry
Christmas.
Thank you all.
And these are coming back. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Larry,
Yes.
so is this your last?
Yes, thanks,
is this your
Terry.
last